Welcome to the SEO.co Search Engine Optimization Podcast. Digital marketing essentials and next level tactics. From offsite and on-site optimization to persuasive selling and everything in between. You'll learn actionable tips on what it takes to outright and outrank your competition. Now, here's your host, Timothy Carter.
Thanks for joining me on today's podcast. Topic for today, the 7 most important questions to ask of your SEO data. We live in a glorious age of data, and if you're like most marketers, you revel in it. Yet, a massive influx of data can be stressful and at times intimidating, overwhelming, but at least you have objective data on what's going on in your campaign on all fronts, right? SEO is a strategy that depends on objective data reporting and analysis to be effective. If you don't listen to the data when it's telling you you're doing something wrong, you could self-destruct. On the other hand, if you analyze that data correctly, you're all but guaranteeing yourself a solid path forward. Google Analytics and hundreds of other fantastic online analytic platforms can give you more data than you ever thought you needed. But therein lies the one problem with modern data analysis. Objective data alone cannot give you meaningful takeaways and conclusions. For those, you need to ask the right questions. And here are 7 of them. 1. What are my goals? You should be familiar with your goals in a general sense, but it pays to remind yourself what your actual specific goals really are. Are you trying to get more conversions? Are you focused exclusively on traffic? What kinds of traffic growth were you hoping for? What kind of time frame were you looking at? This will help you identify the key areas you need to measure to evaluate your progress. Number 2, what progress am I making towards these goals? Take a look at how those numbers illustrate your progress towards your goal. For example, let's say you're hoping for a 50% increase in organic traffic in the first 6 months of the year. After the first month, how much of a traffic increase have you seen? This is a basic question, but it's one that's often missed. People tend to look at their progress data without putting it into the context of their ultimate goals. Third question, how have things changed? Here, you'll want to look at a variety of other data points. Look for outliers and changes that break from the norms you're used to. For example, let's say your bounce rate suddenly spikes or one of your internal pages becomes more popular. This is important information that could tell you about how one of your recent changes is affecting your user behavior. Fourth question, how is this different from what I expected? It's really important to clarify the difference between your actual results and your expected results, as this can help you better understand your SEO strategy in general. It forces you to challenge your assumptions and accept the fact that your ideas of SEO growth may be wrong, which most marketers are afraid to admit. For example, let's say you've launched a new social media campaign, but your social traffic didn't grow as much as you thought it would. Why is this? Fifth question, what qualities of this change are worth noting? Dig a little deeper into the major changes in your report to understand the secondary qualities that may be worth further consideration. For example, let's say you've seen a major increase in organic traffic from one month to the next. What demographics are a part of this organic increase? What pages are they going to first? Is their behavior any different from past segments of your population? The 6th major question to ask is, why is this occurring? It's hard to pinpoint the exact motivation for a change in SEO's campaign, but it's important that you try. You can't just assume that the first factor that pops into your mind was responsible. For example, if you launch a new wing of your content strategy and see a rise in organic traffic, you'd immediately think your content strategy was responsible. It may be, but take a look at other variables to try and isolate the real root cause. 7. What could I be missing? That is a big question and one that's harder to answer. But it's an important way of challenging yourself. Think about all the data points, all the variables, and all the possible changes you could potentially be missing, and try to seek them out. You should be excited to find out you're wrong about something if it means you have the chance to improve. Well, these are just, a handful of the most important questions you'll have to ask your data. I kind of kept these questions open-minded, or not open-minded, yeah, that too, open-ended and ambiguous, so they can apply to practically any business. But in reality, they should be as specific as possible to your situation. Narrow your focus as tightly as you can to avoid misleading yourself with internal biases and, directionless vagueness. I'll say that 10 times fast. Once you start asking the right questions, you can start forming more meaningful and, actionable conclusions, and then a process and a method to getting to where you need to go. The final question, once you've learned all you can from your most recent report, is, how can we improve from here? And I think that's about it for today's episode. How can we improve from here? And if you need some help on improving your site's organic visibility, come on over to SEO.co and have a time for a free consultation. We're always available to learn, to teach you how we can help you scale your ability to outright and outrank your competition. And if you found some value from this podcast episode, please rate and leave a comment, subscribe to the podcast, and we look forward to continuing to serve you with SEO optimization tips and ideas. Have a great day.
Thank you for joining us on the SEO.co podcast. We appreciate your time. Be sure to rate, review, and subscribe to the show, and visit SEO.co for more resources based on today's topic, as well as access to more podcast episodes to help you improve your site's long-term SEO success.